Park's first black commissioner since 1886. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Just a reminder, in Long Beach, most of the roadways near the waterfront are shut down as they get ready for the Grand Prix this weekend. So you're going to probably need to find other ways around the city. Heading westbound on the southeastbound on the 101 Ventura Freeway in Woodland Hills, a fender bender as you backed up to Canoga Avenue, and it stays pretty busy right to the 405. Westbound Santa Monica Freeway connector to the South 110 shut down for road work.
True Green is the easiest and most affordable way to get a beautiful lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, you get one application free. Call or visit truegreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers answered the challenge last night in New Orleans and got out of the play-in round. They held on for a 4-point win to clinch the 7th seed in the Western Conference playoffs. The win set up a first-round matchup with the defending champion Denver Nuggets. Game 1 is Saturday in Denver. LeBron led the Lakers with 23 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds. The Lakers really helped themselves by making 26 of 29 free throws. New Orleans will host Sacramento Friday night. The winner gets the 8th seed in the West. Sacramento beat Golden State last night. We may have seen the end of an era with Golden State's early elimination. Steph Curry is 36, and Klay Thompson is a free agent. Thompson was 0 for 10 from the floor in perhaps his last game with Golden State. Thompson, Curry, and Draymond Green won 420 games together and 4 NBA championships. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley.
And I'm Compton Mayor Emma Sharif.
You have no doubt been hearing promos and expert conversations on our various weekday shows and downloading details at KBLA1580.com about our climate justice campaign, which is now in full effect.
The city of Compton is pleased to partner with KBLA Talk 1580 to celebrate Earth Day 2024 as we serve, share, and help our city shine.
And KBLA Talk 1580 is just as excited to join the city of Compton as we broadcast live and bring our KBLA delegation with us to help clean and beautify our community, and you are invited to join us.
Come meet us on Saturday, April the 20th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in Compton as we fan out to clean up our city.
The first 50 KBLA listeners to hit our website at KBLA1580.com will receive a free KBLA tee when you join us on Saturday morning, April 20th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in Compton. Now, no show, no shirt, but sign up at KBLA1580.com right now to help us clean up Compton as part of Earth Day 2024.
We will see you on Saturday, April the 20th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in the city of Compton to do our part for Earth Day 2024.
We are KBLA Talk 1580, caring about the climate, caring about the community, cleaning up Compton. What an amazing conversation with Kim Fox. I enjoyed that immensely, and hope you did as well. I thank her once again for the time. I always feel ambivalent about these African-American first. On the one hand, I celebrate them. I celebrate Kim Fox being the first black woman to run that major department. On the other hand, there's so many spaces and places that we have yet been denied access to, and that always troubles me as well. But I enjoyed that conversation immensely, and I thank Kim Fox for giving us the time, a full hour in fact. In this third and final hour, two conversations on the B side of this hour, a climate justice conversation with Felicia Davis about the critical work of the HBCU Green Fund, where she is managing director. So we'll talk about climate justice and black people with Felicia Davis on the back side of this hour. But we commenced this hour with a nature story. Writer, researcher, and behavioral scientist Dr. Janet Barber tells us why the story of the cicada, the cicada, should explain that. Yeah, those cicada, yeah, is really a story of Black love, Black achievement, and Benjamin Banneker, who was attracted to and inspired by nature. It is a fascinating story with interesting connections that only Dr. Janet Barber can do justice to. So I'm pleased to have her on this program. Dr. Barber, how are you today?
I am doing fantastic, Tavis. Thank you so much for allowing me this platform.
No, I'm glad to have you. Let me just say this. My program's 3 hours long. I'm in the third and final hour now. So a couple hours ago, I teed up the fact that you'd be on, we'd be talking about this, and I had people texting me and reaching out saying, what is that conversation about? They didn't quite get the connection between the cicada, Black love, Black achievement, Benjamin Banneker. So I'm going to let you make all this make sense in the few moments that we have here. So I don't know where you want to begin, but take it away.
Okay, I'm going to take it away. Number one, let me say that song you just played there fits right in with Black love, human beings of of any race. But I'm telling you, those cicada will probably love that song as well, because the cicada come out, the one that we studied, Brood X, every 17 years. And so a bulk of my research started in 2004. And then it went on up to 2021. And these cicada, one of the sole things they do is to ensure that their ancestors are happy and that their descendants are supported.
Let me jump in right quick. Not to cut you off. Let me jump in right quick. So that I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're talking about the cicada, and for those who don't know cicada, that's spelled C-I-C-A-D-A. Don't want to insult anybody. But want to make sure that all of my listeners are on the same page. So it's spelled C-I-C-A-D-A. Look it up. They're called the cicada. Before you get into the story, tell us what the cicada are. Who are the cicada? What is a cicada?
The cicada it's actually an insect.
An insect.
And let me explain to you, Tavis, it is an insect. And during the Banneker's time, he referred to them as locusts, but they are essentially, just as you said to the audience, they are called the cicada. Mm-hmm. And on the Brood X cycle, which Benjamin Banneker recorded, they come out every 17 years. Now, granted that the cicada that's coming out very soon in the summer, everybody, mostly in the deep south, will be hearing the cicada twofold. The cicada that's coming out during the summer, Tavis, would be the Brood 19, which comes out every 17 years, but at a different time than the Brood X that I and my co-worker and co-coordinator and co-collaborator wrote about in 2014. I'll get back to that. Mm-hmm. But the cicada that's coming out that's going to emerge together, they were together in the last time was 1803. So we are coming upon a very rare and phenomenal time this summer. So I want people to take note of what they're hearing. Sometimes the cicada can sound very pesty. They can be irritating to you. And most certainly, if you're having a wedding or something, you're in the South, you are going to hear some loud cicada. I mean, they can be louder than a lawnmower. They are going to be very loud. Yeah. And so, Brood 13 and Brood 19 are going to emerge together in the USA this summer, starting around mid-May all the way to the end of June. And this has been going. The last time was in 1803. The next time these cicada come out, they will be 2,245. So that is when the next time they will come out.
So this is like a solar eclipse that only happens every so often, right?
Well, it only happens ever so often. You brought it up, solar eclipse. I'm going to try not to be all over the place with that, but that just jogged my memory for that. Yeah. That at age 40 in 1789, Tavis, Benjamin Banneker predicted the solar eclipse.
Hold that thought.
He was right on target.
Hold that thought. This is why I love black people. Benjamin Banneker was a bad man. And I know y'all thinking, why is Tavis talking about the cicada? This is fascinating, interesting nature stuff the first time these two broods have been together since 1803. You're going to hear a lot of loud noises coming from these insects, these cicada this summer. But the connection to Benjamin Banneker is really fascinating for me. And the story that there's actually an insect. Did you know? I didn't. That there's an insect that only comes out once every 17 years. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Dr. Janet Barber, more with her when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Hey y'all, Mona Swain here from Target's new YouTube series, My Cart is Full, where we feature Black founders and creators highlighting their connection to our community. As an actor and content creator, I love using my voice to inspire young Black women who look like me. When it comes to feeding my shine, seeing myself reflected in Black-owned and founded products at Target brings me joy. Together, we are Black Beyond Measure. Learn more at target.com/Black Beyond Measure.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit-on-the-go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
America has an important decision to make in 2024. Who will lead the nation in these stressful yet monumental times? Business leader and Lakers co-owner Johnny Buss has a plan for America. Join us on Thursday, April 8th at 11 a.m. as Johnny Buss shares a new path forward for America and announces his independent candidacy for President of the United States. Thursday, April 18th, 11 a.m. on Kareem Court, just near the fabulous Forum. Listen to the vision, witness history. Register today at bus2024.com. America finally has the right choice. Paid for by Bus for America 2024.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't shave with that, son. You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops. I'm good with Gillette's Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard anyway? You know Mama hates it.
Yeah, had it since my last wet shave in 77. Got ingrown so bad, looked like I was growing a patch of new noses.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturize, so I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
He's rooting for everybody black. Everybody black. More of Tavis Smiley coming your way right now. Right now.
That's the sound. You recognize it? We're talking about the cicada. That's the sound that we all know. And we're going to hear a lot of it this summer, and they are loud. Yeah. In case you hadn't caught up with me now that you've heard the sound, Tavis, now I know what you're talking about, the cicada. You knew the sound, you may not have known the name. They're called the cicada. That's the sound they make. And as I said a moment ago, quoting Dr. Barber, it's going to get even louder this summer because there are two broods of cicada, brood 13, brood 19. I'm learning like you're learning. They coming together for the first time since 1803. They're going to be especially loud this summer when you're outside doing events outside, and there's not much you can do about it until they just decide to go away. Now, the cicada, we are talking about Dr. Barber, in case you just tuned in, only come out like once every 17 years, which is fascinating for me. And let me just say a quick word about why I'm so fascinated by this. You heard me say all the time, I said on today's program, that I love black media because so many reasons. Black media is necessary and relevant. But what I've learned over the years, and I talk to my staff, my production team about this all the time, and I believe this with every fiber of my being. And I quote my friend Maya Angelou, the late great Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou, quoting a great writer, Tennyson, as I recall, once said that because I am human, nothing human is alien to me. Because I am human, nothing human is alien to me. There is nothing in the human experience that somebody black ain't an expert at. I don't care what the subject matter is. You're going to find, if you look hard enough, if you search long enough, you're going to find somebody black who's an expert in that field. Who knew that there were black experts in insects, in cicada, and who knew there's a connection of black love and black achievement and Benjamin Banneker to the cicada that we hear and get annoyed by every summer. So all that said, that's why I'm so excited about the conversation, so excited to have Dr. Janet Barber on this program for the next 15 minutes or so before I shift gears here in our final half hour. But while I've got you, let me ask a few questions now, given what you've already said. So tell me why these two broods haven't been together since 1803.
One thing is that they make sure they're very smart insects. These are very smart cicadas. They want to make sure that they do not cross each other and eliminate each other. And so they have found a way, even though we have cicada that comes out every 17 years, there are different broods that come out every 17 years because they want to keep their particular brood or family together. And if they get together with other broods, they might be eliminated. And so they want to make ensure that they plant their seed or they plant their seed under trees where the others will not be coming back in that 13-year period or that 17-year period. And that is the reason they are separated. That's not to say that insects and humans and everybody should be separated in that way, but we also, Tavis, as we know in our world, we need to be cognizant of the fact that sometimes there are certain reasons that certain families might need to coexist, but also stick with your family. And I'm telling you, biology can teach you a lot without even talking. And as you brought up Maya Angelou, something else she said that's coming to my mind was everything in the universe has a rhythm.
That's right.
Everything dances.
Lord, yes.
And this is what Maya Angelou said. And so that's sort of what we're looking at. And to bring up, the geniuses or the genius of Benjamin Banneker, being a fantastic mathematician, being a fantastic farmer and astronomer. And so we have to look at all these things, and we have to make sure we keep Benjamin Banneker's name in our mind, in our world, for the things that he did do. And my co-writer with me on that research paper from 2014 is Dr. Osmore Naquanta. And he has become the president of the National Association of Mathematics.
Wow.
And so we have to look at what we're doing, how we're doing it, and you move right along to inspire others. Yeah. We need to inspire our black children, our black teenagers, and adults as well into understanding that we do need the psychology, which is my background. You do need the sociology, which is my background. But we also need to understand nature in a way where we can connect.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
No, I agree. And that's why I wanted to have you on. We got to understand nature in a way that we can connect. You said that beautifully. Tell me more then about the connection between Benjamin Banneker, his research, and the cicada.
Benjamin Banneker started documenting around 1800. However, he had been making notes to himself since 1749, and that is when he was 17 years old. Now, I'm telling you, as I've been telling some groups, that even though Benjamin Banneker started noticing these things when he was 17 years old, the cicada, he had already heard these. Cicada Tavis, because he was born in 1731, November 9th, 1731. Now, by the time the cicada came in May, June of 1732, which they did, this baby was in his crib listening to these cicadas. I don't know from where he lived in that little cabin whether or not some cicada jumped in that crib. I don't know. But this month is April, and this is poetry month, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So in 2021, in studying these cicadas, and this poem came to me while I was on Benjamin Banneker's farm. And the name of it is Baby Benjamin Banneker and the Magi cicada. Years from adulthood, deep down in old Maryland woods, a feathered bed as his crib, little baby Benjamin heard magic for real. His brain already bright for a 17-year flight. The Dogon star smiled down, duly anointing his head and vision alike. Baby Ben saw the magic, wings twirling around into the May night. The 1730-year cicada singing loudly with delight. And as far as I'm concerned, that's when Benjamin Banneker started studying the cicada. But he did document the 1749, and then he documented 1766, then he documented 1783, and 1800 was the last time that he documented. And so, but in 1803, there are not so many cicada because in 1803, the last time that the other two broods, 13 and 19, merged together, were in other states, Kentucky, Alabama, deep down south and some parts of North Carolina, and that's where they were. And so it's doubtful that he heard them, but they were in St. Mary's County, Maryland, not too far. And so if he did hear about them, he got on a horse, and it probably took him 4 days to get there. But so what? If you're a scientist, you're a scientist.
No, are cicada are they regional? You mentioned the South. That's where they really nest. If I can use that word, nest. They hang out in the South. But are they regional? Or are they all across the country?
Tavis, they can be all across the country. Today, I mean, in May, June of this year, the cicada are going to be in. They're going to be in Kentucky. They're going to be in Alabama. They're going to be in Arizona. They're going to be in parts of North Carolina. They're going to have a small emergence in the St. Mary's area of Maryland. And so in the Chicago, they're definitely going to be in Chicago, Illinois, and that's where they're going to have.
Hey, Dr. Barber, I'm laughing because you tell me what they're going to be like. They're going to be on tour, like they published a list or something. Here's the list where we're going to be hanging out this summer.
They are, and they're going to be mating to that song you played earlier too.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be in Arizona. They're going to be in Alabama, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana. Missouri, Mississippi. They're going to be where you're from, Tavis.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be in Mississippi,
Yeah.
Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and some parts of Virginia. They're going to get a little taste in Alexandria, actually, not too far from Benjamin Banneker's homestead, but it's not going to be a lot. But I like to think about the fact.
Now, finish your point. I want to ask you a question about their movement. You want to think about finish your thought. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to make a point about the Alexandria, Virginia, on Pitt Street. Benjamin Banneker was there in 1771 when he was dealing with working with George Eliot for surveying. And I know from my research, and a lot of people just don't know this, that right there on Pitt Street in Alexandria, Virginia, Benjamin Banneker walked those streets or those paths or whatever they might have been in 1791. And every time my husband and I go down that street, we think about and talk about Benjamin Banneker.
Yeah. Tell me more about, you mentioned the places they're going to be. Tell me more about their movement. How do they decide, these cicada, how they move, how they dance?
Now, for one thing, they look at the earth, which if it's not 64 degrees, they might not emerge at that time.
Okay.
The areas we're talking about now would be the areas where you're going to find, 64 degrees. That just happen to be the places where they go. And not being an ethnologist, just a historian, really, who's interested in Benjamin Banneker, and then just happen to come across these the interest in cicada because I have someone in my environment studying prime numbers, studying the cicada in reference to Benjamin Banneker having some type of connection. And Dr. Quanta was looking at, I'm thinking that there might be something in the museum in Maryland, and we found that information, and that's how he and I ended up writing and co-authoring this paper that came out in 2014. And Tavis, in reference to them being across the United States, it is certain broods know when to come and where to go. And it would take an ethnologist to sort of tell you more about that.
Right.
And being a social scientist, and then a mathematician, we might need to go to the ethnologist for that. But there's a tremendous amount of research on the cicada, which a lot of people are not so much interested in.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not interested so much in eating them as some people are, but they had little cafes around here in 2021. But we're looking at 2024 now, and those are the places that I named earlier where they will be. And so they dig a little hole about a dime size. And if you're in an area where you see like these little strange dime size little holes in the land, believe me, a cicada is probably going to come out of there around May or June.
Wow. Tell me more about your husband and how. I mean, I mentioned that this story of the cicada is a story of Black achievement. It's a story of Benjamin Banneker. It's also a story of Black love. Tell me about you and your husband and your interest in these fields.
Well, for one thing, being a behavior scientist, I was interested in Benjamin Banneker, and I'm interested in Benjamin Banneker, but also his mom. Where did this genius child come from? And so that's what a lot of work that I'm doing. My husband is a mathematician, and so he was interested in Benjamin Banneker, mathematics, prime numbers, and the magic of the cicada, which are actually called magic cicada for the brood-ettes. And so even though I'd written about Benjamin Banneker years ago in 1993, actually, looking at the humanitarian side of Benjamin Banneker, and so he knew I was interested in Benjamin Banneker, and so he approached me with this thing about the bugs, and that is what I called them, Tavis. I'm like, I don't know if I'm interested in these bugs, and so, but it became more than the bugs, and it has kept us talking about the cicada for years.
Yeah.
And so when we got on NPR and explained to people about Benjamin Banneker and how he was one of the first to document and observe the cicada. Now, that is what we said. And in that paper from 2024, we explained that he was one of the first. We did not say that he was the first.
Right.
Of course, I'm not going to even name the news outlets. They came out, oh, no, these people were on NPR, and they said that Benjamin Banneker was the first. He was not the first.
Yeah.
And we put in the paper plainly that there were documentations in 1633, 1666, 1683, and we put it in the paper, and people want to see whatever they want to see. And that is why Tavis Smiley has a news outlet so that we can get our voices heard without being trampled upon continuously and forgotten about. And so I'm hoping that people will hear the message about Benjamin Banneker.
They're hearing it loud and clear. And trust me, I've been at this a long time, as you know. They will take your words and twist them. And so you and I are simpatico in this regard. That's why we need Black media, where you can tell your stories, as you said, and tell the truth without being trampled on. He is one of the first. But it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me because the story of Benjamin Banneker reminds us that Black folks should not be now, nor have we ever truly been, afraid of math and science. We don't need to be afraid of that. And Benjamin Banneker stands as a tall example of the brilliance of Black people in all sorts of fields of human endeavor, including science, including math. And so I celebrate this story because I'm learning more about Benjamin Banneker. I celebrate this story because it speaks to Black achievement. I celebrate this story because at the heart of it is Black love with you and your husband and the work that y'all do together. But I really celebrate this story because as Black people, we ain't going to be able to avoid the cicada this summer. And so since you can't avoid them, you might as well know more about them and learn more about them and read more about Benjamin Banneker. And for that, we thank Dr. Janet Barber. Dr. Barber, I thank you for the time we've had. You've empowered me with stuff I didn't know. I'm sure the audience learned stuff as well. So thank you for your work and your witness, and all the best to you and your husband.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed this. Thank you.
I enjoyed it immensely. Good to have you on this program. I love nature. You love nature. My mama loves nature. I just love learning about it. And who knew that Benjamin Banneker had tracked the cicada for all those years over the course of his life, stopping in 1800. And here we are now, this summer, headed toward a season where Brood 13, Brood 19 are coming together for the first time since 1803. And it's going to be loud this summer with the sound of cicada. Where else would you have learned that except listening to Tavis Smiley?
Unapologetically progressive. Unapologetically black. You're tapped into Tavis Smiley.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A Boeing whistleblower is scheduled to testify before a congressional committee. Boeing engineer Sam Solopur says he became alarmed about the production of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and raised concerns to his superiors about a number of issues, including a gap between parts of the fuselage that were not up to Boeing's specs. In Florida, there will be a couple of new faces in local government in Orange County. Craig Russell was elected yesterday to the City Commission in Winter Park, and Ileana Ramos-Jones was elected to the City Commission in Winter Garden. Both runoff elections were close. Jones won by 57 votes, Russell by 34. Russell will be Winter Park's first black commissioner since 1886. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Just a reminder, in Long Beach, most of the roadways near the waterfront are shut down as they get ready for the Grand Prix this weekend. So you're going to probably need to find other ways around the city. Heading westbound on the southeastbound on the 101 Ventura Freeway in Woodland Hills, a fender bender as you backed up to Canoga Avenue, and it stays pretty busy right to the 405. Westbound Santa Monica Freeway connector to the South 110 shut down for road work.
True Green is the easiest and most affordable way to get a beautiful lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, you get one application free. Call or visit truegreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers answered the challenge last night in New Orleans and got out of the play-in round. They held on for a 4-point win to clinch the 7th seed in the Western Conference playoffs. The win set up a first-round matchup with the defending champion Denver Nuggets. Game 1 is Saturday in Denver. LeBron led the Lakers with 23 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds. The Lakers really helped themselves by making 26 of 29 free throws. New Orleans will host Sacramento Friday night. The winner gets the 8th seed in the West. Sacramento beat Golden State last night. We may have seen the end of an era with Golden State's early elimination. Steph Curry is 36 and Klay Thompson is a free agent. Thompson was 0 for 10 from the floor in perhaps his last game with Golden State. Thompson, Curry, and Draymond Green won 420 games together and 4 NBA championships. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Environmental justice is racial justice.
Environmental justice is social justice.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California. Home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Aviterus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@KBLA1580.com. That's advertising at KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got your black.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Race, culture wars, political turf battles, criminal justice and injustice, the courts. These are the conversations you won't hear elsewhere. My guests are leading journalists, celebrities and sports figures, elected leaders and influencers. They aren't afraid to get into it and say the quiet part out loud. With Ariva Martin in real time, your commute just became the most engaging part of your day. Tune in weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. or find us on YouTube. Ariva Martin in real time, when you want it straight, no chaser.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. More honesty than you can handle.
More empowerment than you can imagine.
You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
Indeed you are, and I'm glad about it. What an amazing conversation with Dr. Janet Barber. First of all, her energy and enthusiasm is infectious. I just love people who are passionate about the work that they do. And as I said moments ago, I don't care what the subject matter is. If you look long enough and hard enough and do research, you're going to find somebody black who's an expert in that field. And so I just love the story of black love and black achievement and Benjamin Banneker as it relates to these cicada, who we're going to be hearing loudly this summer as these two broods come together. So get your mind right and get some earplugs, because you're going to be hearing cicada pretty aggressively. It's kind of like that solar eclipse, as I say. It only comes around once every so often. But for these two broods to be out together for the first time since 1803, we are told it's going to be really, really loud this summer with these insects called the cicada. What a fascinating conversation about nature. And I thank Dr. Janet Barber and her husband for the work they're doing and bringing us that conversation. Now, we close today's show with Felicia Davis, who's managing director of the HBCU Green Fund. We are committed for the rest of this year. We've already started, of course. So Felicia is in a line of these conversations, but we've already started having conversations and will continue for the rest of the year about climate justice, climate and black people. It's a major issue. Black people, as I often say, are the black and poor people, are the disproportionate victims of these climate catastrophes, these climate maladies. And so the timing could not be more propitious in this election season, where I hope this issue gets raised higher on the American agenda to talk about climate and black folk. So enter into the conversation the managing director of the HBCU Green Fund, Felicia Davis, who I'm honored to have on this program. How are you today?
I am wonderful. I am so excited. I am absolutely energized to be speaking with you on this topic. It's kind of been a long time coming, but indeed, Black America is aware that climate change is real and climate justice is essential. Yeah. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm just really, I just want to, at the top of the conversation, say how meaningful it is to have you addressing it, not only for today, but for an entire year.
No, I appreciate you saying that. It's our commitment, and we are honored to have you as a part of these many conversations we're going to be having over the course of this year. Let me just probe right quick something you said a moment ago, and I think you're right about it, but I'm curious as to why it is the case that it has been such a long time coming for us to really wrap our brains around climate and what it does and what it means for our community. Why has it been so long in the making?
So climate I think we relate to it as something kind of nebulous, hard to wrap our minds around at a time when we're the ones that we suffered through Katrina. We had, toxic dumping. We had upfront issues that the environmental justice community have been struggling with and working on for years. So it's around, I came into climate work from civil rights work, and that was in the year 2000. So even saying to my community, no, this is the quintessential issue of our lifetime, it's been almost 25 years for it to actually land. So it's a tough thing, but I thought after Katrina, certainly our community really gets it.
You make a powerful point when you informed us a moment ago that you came from civil rights work to climate work. And one of the things that I find myself saying repeatedly, I know you agree on this, and I want to get your take on it, which is simply this, that climate justice is racial justice. Climate justice is social justice. Are we making any progress in making those points?
So here's the bottom line. If we got to look at economics, right, over time, if you look at energy as the defining characteristic, then that will center how important the climate conversation is to the status of the Black community here in the U.S. and globally. So, and right now, I'm excited to be on the show because we are, in America, going to have the greatest transfer of wealth ever. So ever, yes, in my lifetime, but ever. We're talking about billions moving, and we're going to have a new and different economy based on what we do with energy. Climate change is the driver for that. This is a moment that if we miss it, we consign our future generations to be in a lower status than they are present. Yeah, that's the real deal.
That's the real deal. That's hard to fathom that we're going to get lower than we already are. We still lag behind today in every leading economic indicator category. And to think that if we miss this moment, we're going to drop even lower is something that I don't even want to begin to process. Tell me, yeah, exactly. I don't even want to entertain it. Tell me more specifically about the HBCU Green Fund.
So the HBCU Green Fund was created to help catapult or leapfrog Black colleges and universities kind of from the back, hopefully to the front. So that was our core mission. We've been around almost 10 years now. And right now, we have an opportunity. So with the Biden-Harris administration's commitment to Justice 40% of the Infrastructure Act, of the bipartisan bill has to go to quote-unquote disadvantaged communities. And in some instances, for example, the Environmental Protection Agency has $2 billion that is out now for projects in communities, and 40% or more will go into disadvantaged communities. So how are we coming together, one, to put the word out, and two, to come up with projects that will provide renewable energy, that will reduce energy burden, that perhaps develop new technologies that will bring electric vehicle charging, all of these things. This is the moment and the opportunity.
We are continuing our climate justice campaign series with a number of conversations throughout the year, specifically about Black folk and climate. Our guest in this hour is Felicia Davis, Managing Director of the HBCU Green Fund. More with her when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
This is getting good. Yeah, man. Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Felicia Davis, who's managing director of the HBCU Green Fund. Felicia Davis, tell me more about the way you envision these HBCUs serving as models of sustainability.
Sure. I'm going to give an example.
Sure.
So here in Atlanta, you have Clark Atlanta, Spelman, Morehouse College. And you have some urban agriculture going on. You have a number of projects around. This is a moment where Morehouse College or Clark can have the lead because they're large enough to go after $10 and $20 million grants. Mm-hmm. And the Environmental Protection Agency, for the first time, has made it possible for the larger institution to partner with community-based entities. There's $2 billion in that, with a B, right, in that fund on a rolling basis. So what this does for the HBCU is connect them back to community, not that they were, not that there was a wall around them, but the community felt like they were a bit disconnected, right, and there's a real need for us to go in and do it. So there are opportunities in housing. HBCUs are limited by the number of dorm rooms that they can provide. Those dorm rooms need to be energy efficient, mm-hmm, because if they're not, the energy bill goes up and so does the tuition for the kids. Mm-hmm. So these are ways that the ripple effect, when we talk about energy burden, that especially like on the West Coast, your energy bill well, not today won't outdistance your rent or mortgage, but in some communities, they can be paralyzed.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
No
Energy
question.
burden.
No question.
So, however, if you're able to have solar energy, all right, and at least reduce that burden, then you're able, your community is strengthened. So if you look at our communities, you don't see solar panels on every roof, you know. But now the resources are what's coming down the pike next is solar for all. That 100% of those resources, some $7 billion, will go into quote-unquote disadvantaged communities. So right now I'm hyper-focused on that. But, of course, HBCU Green Fund, naturally we work with students. We have extensive work in Africa where we take HBCU students on an eco spring break. So they do service learning. They've gone, this year we went to Ghana. Last year we went to Senegal. Next year we're deciding, do we go back to Ghana or do we go to Tanzania? Florida A&M has a food, water, energy nexus conference coming up July 1st to the 4th in Durban, South Africa. So HBCUs, not only are we on climate change, are we present at UN conferences, are we doing the work here at home, we are moving out globally.
Yeah,
and so this is, we can go from the back to the front.
Nope, I love the story that we're hearing now of the ways in which HBCUs are stepping up on their campuses to embrace this climate justice issue and all the tentacles that offshoot it, again, because our people are the ones who most often, black people and poor people are the ones most often victimized by these catastrophes. Our remaining moments with the managing director of the HBCU Green Fund, Felicia Davis, when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
My daughter was diagnosed with a rare malignant rhabdoid tumor on the spine. They sent her straight to St. Jude. My hope was gone. But when you get there, everyone's like, hey, we're not going to give up. And when you see other people not giving up on your child, that makes all the difference in the world. When I found out I didn't have to pay, I was just grateful. They saved my baby's life.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Febreze. So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness from my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Made fresh daily in the Mert Park,
Los Angeles, California.
You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
I got about 4 minutes left here. 4 minutes left, Felicia Davis. I want to ask a couple questions. Let me move through this swiftly. I'm always curious as to the backstory of black people who are in this climate space. The more I do this, the more I realize there have been folk who've been long-distance runners on these issues. How did you get pulled in?
So, actually, I was recruited. I had done some work with the Million Man March, and in about 2000, a progressive white organization reached out. I gave them a number that I didn't think they would meet. They said yes right away. At that time, I wasn't even sure. I wasn't sure what I thought about it. Right. But that brought me in. And then I was working closely with Dr. Joseph Lowry, the late Dr. Joseph Lowry. And he was on, he was early on. He was in Warren County. He was definitely an environmental justice supporter from day one. So Dr. Lowry actually supported my work, supported me in this effort, and the rest is history.
Rest is history.
So from the year 2000 forward.
I love it. I love it. I know that you went to, you're a Bison, correct? You went to Howard.
Yes, I did. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I did my research.
And actually, you were in Atlanta. This was some time ago. I can't think of the year, but you were here for a book signing early on. You and Julianne Malveaux, so separate book.
Oh, yeah.
But went back with Melanie Campbell.
Oh, I love Melanie.
Version.
Absolutely love
her.
So,
yeah. So we've crossed paths.
No, I love it. I'm glad. I'm glad we're crossing paths on this issue.
Early.
Yeah.
But then the one thing I would say is that the importance. Imagine that there are $27 billion, 70% or more of it, 27 billion with a B, targeted to quote unquote disadvantaged communities. Now they could be in West Virginia coal country, or it could be in South Atlanta, south side of Chicago. It's up to us what we do now, and how the only thing that will limit us is not coming together to scale what we're able to do.
Beautifully said, and I couldn't agree more. I've got about 90 seconds left. I want to give it to you to brag about your HBCU Fellows program.
Yes, our fellows are amazing. Students from Bennett College, Spelman, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta University, and expanding. You can reach us, any young person that's interested. We believe it's all about the young people, their ideas, their energy. You can reach me, myself, Felicia, FELICIA, at HBCUGreenFund.org. We always respond. We have a team. What am I? I'm like a elder millennial. I now refer to myself.
You got your own term. You got your own term. I'm an elder millennial.
Yes. Yes.
All right, man. That's you. Give that web address one more time before I lose you. Give it one more time.
That is HBCUGreenFund.org. So if they get there, they'll find me. It's Felicia at HBCUGreenFund.org. If you email me, I'll email back.
It's this HBCU Fellows program is an amazing program, and I just again celebrate all these people of color, these black people, who are doing the righteous work, the heavy lifting in this climate space, and we're going to be doing these conversations all year long to showcase their work, but also to help us be empowered with the information that we need to turn this tide, pardon the pun, against the climate tsunami that's trying to overtake us. On that note, we thank Felicia Davis for her work and witness. Good to have you on. All the best to you. Thanks for your time.
Well, thank you for having me.
My great delight. Just like that, 3 hours gone. Back here tomorrow, Lord willing, to do it all over again. Until tomorrow, thanks for tuning in to Tavis Smiley. And as always, keep the faith.
KBLA 1580